Okay. Picking up from where we left off, lesson 9.2. And yesterday we practiced axis, symmetry, and vertex. Today we are graphing. But notice when it says graph, label the axis of symmetry and vertex. So we are finding axis of symmetry and vertex first. So can you tell me your ABCs?
The A is a negative x.
Not negative x. What's the number in front of x squared?
Oh, 1.
So it's A is negative 1. B is 4 because it's in front of x. And C is negative 2 because it's number added or subtracted at the end, right? Okay, so we've talked about our ABCs. What is my formula to find the axis of symmetry?
X equals negative b over 2a.
Okay, x equals negative b over 2a. And where can you find that negative b over 2a? That's at the top of the notes page, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay. So let's fill in the math. If we're talking x equals negative b over 2a, what are we doing on top?
It's going to be x equals negative 4 over 2 and negative 1.
Yeah. It's negative of 4 over 2 times negative 1. So negative 4 over, what's 2 times negative 1? Negative 2. Negative 4 divided by negative 2 is 2. And so what is our axis of symmetry?
Equals 2.
X equals 2. Okay. So axis of symmetry is x equals 2. And if you will, I'm going to call that step 1 in order to graph these. Okay, that's going to be step 1. Step 2, once you find the axis of symmetry, we can find the vertex. So what do we know about the vertex?
If this one is going to be 2.
Yeah, and I'm going to, let's see. Right now, I know my vertex is 2, comma, something. How do we find the other piece?
Well, you have to do the same y equals negative x to the second plus 4 times 2, but replace the x's with the axis of symmetry.
Okay, so we're going to use that original equation. We're going to use that y equals negative x squared plus 4x minus 2. Except every place we see x, we are putting in, not negative 2, but positive 2, unless I have a mistake. So now, be careful with this one. It's going to be the negative of 2 squared plus 4 times 2 minus 2. Notice I did that. It's the negative of x squared. It's the negative of 2 squared. What is 2 squared? 4. What's an opposite or negative of that? Negative 4. So this is going to be negative 4 plus 4 times 2 is 8. And then minus 2. Negative 4 plus 8 minus 2.
2.
2. And what do we do with that 2? Goes in the other piece. So we have a vertex of 2, 2. Now, we have to add one more step for these. We have an axis of symmetry. We have a vertex. So we know where our parabola is centered. But we don't know where the rest of it goes. And so we have to have at least one more set of points. And if I think about this, it's like right now, if we think about XY chart, we already have 2, 2 as our vertex, right? I put a V out there to realize it's our vertex. We need at least one more point. What is the easiest point to pick if you can? Easier than 1. 0. Okay, so my recommendation is that you pick 0 as your extra number if you can. Now, can I pick 0 if 0 is already part of my vertex? No. But otherwise, I would pick 0 would be my recommendation. It just makes the math easier. So if we put 0, where am I going to put that 0 into? Well, 0 is my x value, so I'm going to put it into the original equation again, in for x, right? So we're going to say y equals the negative of 0 squared plus 4 times 0 minus 2. I don't know about you, but that's pretty easy math. 0 squared is 0. 4 times 0 is 0. Minus 2? Negative 2. So now we have the ordered pair 0, negative 2. Okay. So let's graph. Go back to step 1. What did we find first?
Axis of symmetry, which is 2.
X equals 2, so that means I'm going to, on the x-axis, I'm going to go over 2, 1, 2, and I'm going to make a vertical dashed dotted line. Okay? So that is my axis of symmetry. That is the x equals 2. Then, step 2 was find our vertex. Where's our vertex?
It's 2,
2,
2.
2. So that means from the origin I go right 2, up 2. And that should be on your axis of symmetry. Okay, vertex has to be on the axis of symmetry. So that is the ordered pair, 2, 2. Now, the deal is, I don't know, does this parabola open up? Does it open down? Is it skinny? Is it wide? So what's the other point we came up with, our extra point? 0, negative 2. So that means from the origin we go 0 left or right and down 2. Now, the axis of symmetry means it's symmetric on both halves, right? Both halves are equal. So what do you know? If we have this point that is 2 to the left of the axis of symmetry, does it make sense that there is an equivalent point on that same line, but 2 the other way, 2 to the right of the axis of symmetry? Okay? So the vertex was on the axis of symmetry, and then if you have a point on the left, we have an equivalent point on the right. What's this parabola going to do? It's going to be upside down. Does it make sense that it's upside down? Why might it be upside down? Because it was a negative x squared, right? Okay, so we just need to connect our dots, connect our points here. Looking something like that. There's a couple of different ways that MathXL has you graph parabolas. So you'll just have to, it'll just depend on what they want you to do. But a lot of times they'll say, okay, pick your vertex first, and then pick an extra point, and it'll just automatically form the parabola. Although I've seen it sometimes where they want you to put the axis of symmetry in first. So I don't remember what they do here. Okay? Think you can handle that process?
Yeah.
Shall we practice it one more time? Make sure we're Kind of following along? Okay. So y equals x squared minus 6x plus 2.
X2 would be the A.
What's the number in front of it that makes the a, though? Yeah. A is 1. B is negative 6. C is 2. And technically, it's not that you have to write down your ABCs, but
It's there so you can remember.
I think it's a lot less confusing that way, because then when we go in to fill in our formula, we don't have to rethink it through. Okay, so step 1. Again, we are finding that axis. Formula for the axis of symmetry?
Negative b over 2a.
Good. X equals negative b over 2a. What's b?
6. Or negative 6.
So it's the negative of negative 6, which in my next step is just going to be positive 6. Okay. 2a, 2 times 1. So 2 times 1 is 2. Negative of negative 6 is 6. 6 divided by 2?
3.
3. So my axis of symmetry is, but not just 3.
Well, y equals 3. X equals 3.
X equals 3. There we go. Oof, that line was not very straight. Okay, step 2.
Get the vertex.
Okay, find the vertex. What do we know about our vertex right now?
Have 3 in it.
Yeah, it has a 3 in it. Specifically, it is,
X equals.
yeah, x equals 3, so 3 comma something. How do I find the other piece of that vertex?
Rewrite.
Yeah, we're going to use that x squared minus 6x plus 2. And every place I see x, I'm going to put in 3. 3 squared minus 6 times 3 plus 2.
Negative c.
So 9 minus 18 plus 2. That makes sense, because 9 minus 18 is negative 9. Negative 9 plus 2 is negative 7. And what about this negative 7? Goes into the vertex. So here we have, woof, got a little squirrely there. Okay, 3 negative 7. Am I done? Can I graph? No. We need one more number.
X, y chart.
Yeah, XY chart, one more number. And my only thing would be, the only way you can't pick 0 is if 0 is my axis of symmetry. So we already have our vertex of 3 negative 7. And then if we pick 0 as another good number. Zero squared minus 6 times 0 plus 2.
It's 2.
0 minus 0 plus 2. So now we have the ordered pair of an extra point of 0, 2. Okay. Graphing. What do I graph first?
Axis. The code.
Yeah. Go back to step 1. Axis symmetry, x equals 3. So over 3 and make your dotted line. And in order to label this, I'm just going to say x equals 3. Okay, now what?
Your
Vertex.
vertex. So over 3 down 7. Oh, yeah, 3 down 7.
Okay, over 3, down 7. Which does put us at the very bottom, which is fine. That is our vertex at 3, negative 7. And
0, 2.
where is 0, 2?
2.
Starting from the origin, 0 tells me left to right 0, 2 tells me up 2. I need one more point to graph this.
Oh,
Mirror it, good word. Reflect it, mirror it. So this one, notice this time the point is 3 to the left. So we need an equivalent point that is 3 to the right. Does it make sense that my parabola is right side up this time?
Yes.
Yeah, it should. Okay. Does that give you a little bit of an idea about graphing these? Okay, well, continue your homework in Math Excel. Okay. So lesson 9.2. In Math Excel. My board's being rather difficult. Okay, guys. Get working.